Going green. Where did the days go when the winters were long and the summers were short? I can remember praying that the cold days would end fast, but now I find myself awaiting the end of long heat waves. I never could figure out why the days of heat began to last so much longer, but I was soon to find out. There was talk during my grade school years that the existence on Earth was to change drastically because of the heat, but I didn't believe it. I just figured the adults were trying to scare us, but then it happened. My teacher mentioned two words that I would never forget: global warming. It finally came to pass, that hideous monster, global warming. Even though I saw it as this ferocious entity, I didn't really know what it was, so there began my research. Global warming is basically the increasing of the average temperatures of the atmosphere, ocean, and land masses of Earth. It makes changes to our climate, which in return affects every aspect of human life. Now, Earth has always warmed and then cooled itself for over 4 billion years. However, due to global warming, the balance is no longer as constant. Scientists everywhere seem to think that humans are the main contributor for this growing problem because we are burning fossil fuels and the process of deforestation. These activities of ours are causing the release of carbon dioxide and other substances into the atmosphere. As it becomes richer with greenhouse gases, our Earth will become a better insulator for trapping more heat that is provided by the sun. That really gives you something to think about. For millions of years, the Earth's temperature has been maintained because of the greenhouse effect. The greenhouse effect is a bit like an actual greenhouse. The efforts of the greenhouse effect have been accelerated by our activities, and that's humankind. The major gases that are being identified as contributing to this problem are water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. Until renewable, non-polluting methods of energy production are developed, energy production will continue to remain at the top of the list for major contributors. Chlorofluorocarbons, which are widely known as CFCs, rank second for major contributors. Land mass distribution contributes to our growing issue also. The shifting continental drift, are causing changes in circulatory patterns of ocean currents. It seems that whenever there is a large landmass at one of the Earth's poles, either north or south, there are ice ages. Along with this problem, there is undersea ridge activity. Seafloor spreading associated with continental drift is causing variations in ocean displacement. These are just a few examples of the many things that are contributing to the global warming age. With global warming comes many consequences, like an increase in infectious disease cases and a growing rate of deaths. The speeding of diseases such as malaria and dengue fever are creating conditions that lead to potentially fatal malnutrition and diarrhea, along with the increasing likelihood of heat waves and floods. However, you know what's so ironic about global warming is that the poorer countries are reaping its effect the hardest. However, they do little to contribute to the problem. This really leaves an enormous global ethical challenge for us. The United States currently emits more greenhouse gases than any other nation and has refused to ratify the Kyoto Protocol and choosing instead to initiate a separate multi-nation effort that is lined with less ambitious goals. Even though the U.S. is only made up of 4% of the world population, they contribute to 25% of the carbon dioxide and other gas emissions. It is projected that the climate-related disease risk of the various health outcomes will more than double by 2030. The flooding will be the result of coastal storm surges that affect the lives of 200 million people by the 2080s. Heat-related deaths in California are supposed to double by 2100, and the hazardous ozone pollution days in the eastern U.S. could increase about 60% by 2050. It is now only 1979, but I wonder what the next couple of decades will be like for my adulthood. I also wonder if there's anything that I can do to help reduce this problem.
No. You missed this
Cut it off.